So close your eyes, please, and we shall invoke the eternal vibration. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. This is from the Yajur Veda, and it has a conveyance on water. And it goes as follows. One who knows the essence of water will know the essence of everything. And the reason this has been brought up is that to me matters. Science is here for the benefit of society. So it has to get integrated. And the integration of science and natural wisdom cannot be disassociated. There is only one, a total integration. And that, the seed of that is from the land on which we are all on. And that has been the driver for me. Water has been a very core direction of life. I grew up in the Andaman Islands of India, surrounded by water. And my father and mother instilled not just fundamental values, but recognizing, question everything, and observe water. And everything there is to know will come to you. Well, that's how the journey began. So why did I have this topic, water, the living and conscious being? I've lived in the US, I still live there, that's my home. But my home is also here. My home is the whole planet, and probably the whole universe itself, because we are that. Water is a living and conscious being. I don't need to get into how we have dissected our elements to commodities, but it is essential, I would use this word essential, that we have a responsibility to ourselves, to nature, and to life. And that responsibility has to come from a deep knowing, a deep understanding. My iterations with water has gone on for well over 30 years. And some of my deep inspirations have come from a certain group of people that also included, well, Nobel laureates, which has been the driver in the design and the development of what we've done. And why today I am here back in the land of my birth with the company we have started along with another dear friend and colleague who used to be the chairman of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, industrialist too, but a person that's deeply connected to the essence of water. To me, it is the soul of water. So water, being a living and conscious being, is exactly that. So I'm going to highlight, because dear Sanjay, earlier, but prior to me flying out of Bangalore, which is where I am now, said, Krishna, don't make this too technical related to water. Just be gentle, because most of the folks in there, in this august audience, may not get it. So I cannot. This to me is fundamental. So what I have brought together is my insights personally and to those with whom I associate with. So let's start with the deep, insightful inspiration to me was from Albert Szent György. He was awarded a Nobel, a Hungarian biophysicist, and he said, If we are to understand life, we need to look at the electron configurations inside of complex molecular structures. Well, had I not lived in the US, I'd probably still be searching for what that means. Earlier, we had one of our august speakers speak on non-linearity. Well, to me personally, what I see is not real. What I do not see truly exists. And this is the foundation of Vedic science, which we have been disassociated from. To me, it is an integration of science and natural wisdom. I can go into further detail on that, but for now, we'll stay with this process. And another deep, insightful statement came from Max Planck. He said, if we see the world the way it is, it's going to keep functioning in this manner, but the moment we shift the way we see the world, we begin to shift it. So some deep questions came to me, is that why is humanity still ailing? Why are we not an elevated society? Why are we still living like barbarians? We are. Why are we've heard over the last day and a quarter that we still ail from multiplicities of drop-down boxes. Do we not? And we are still seeking to find solutions. Are we going to find solutions if we see the same thing, the same way? Einstein brought this out. If we try to solve the situations of the world today, thinking the way we saw life when we created them, are we ever going to evolve? So, these are deeper questions that constantly I investigate. So to me, water, why is water the medium and matrix of life? This was another word from Albert St. Georgi. There can be no life without water, Leonardo da Vinci. So to me, it became very, very clear. We all of us, billions, those who have also passed on, and those who are to come, will start as a single cell being. Correct? True, no? Now, that's water in that cell, which is what I will be covering here. Where did the intelligence get imprinted into that cell? What was the structure of that imprint that went into the cell? So, water being the most abundant substance in the universe and the dominating molecular component in any living system. Water has unique properties both on a molecular and supramolecular levels. Due to its dipole nature of water molecules, they are able to self-organize into highly dynamic ensembles with each other and with all other substances. These ensembles exist in the widest scale and range from nanoscopic, what we term as coherent domains. These were folks I got to interact with in the 90s, both plasma physicists who lived in Milan, and which only millions of water molecules through microscopic and mesoscopic, and we, in parenthesis, I have the word exclusion zone water and multi-layer polarized water, that's Pollack, another friend and colleague, and Gilbert Ling, who two macroscopic clouds vortexes, which is the work of a forester, brilliant forester by the name of Victor Schauberger. So we are light. We are all beings of light. We are predominantly water. So biologically, we understand that we are 70% water. A person I hold in very high esteem, who is a retired emeritus professor of material science at Stanford, when we met in the early 2000s, and he said to me, Krishna, we are liquid crystal-like receptors of subtle energies that have the capacity to receive information from all dimensions when our two hemispheres are synchronized. What an elegant statement. What an elegant statement. So, to me, water is light. To all of us, water is light. Light is life. So, living water is a conductor of light. So, I sort of brought together certain structures that we see very inherent in nature. When people talk of structured water, it usually means bringing it back to its natural state, which is how life thrives. That's the signature of nature itself. So, natural living water is a conductor of light and life. Consider, after a thunderstorm, rainwater is rich and alive with charged particles. Farmers love these charged rain because it increases vitality. That's what it carries. I mean, today I don't think I can really wholeheartedly say that with full affirmation because we have contributed quite adversely to natural laws. And in spite of it, nature is constantly seeking to revive, refine, and revitalize. So the very water we are conceived in the womb, is hexagonal in structure, both inside and outside of the cell. And this was Gerald Pollack. Gerald Pollack is a professor of biology. When he started exploring and wrote a book called The Fourth Phase of Water, he essentially integrated physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and biology. He brought them all together. But of course, this was a little too heady at that point for the larger breadth of population because we've created an educational system that we have fragmented each and every domain. So when you start integrating, and the fourth phase of water has a lot to do with the confluence of electrons and the importance of how electrons play a very vital role in our lives. Because outside of the matter body, we are a bunch of electrons. And when you tweak electrons, you get photons. Hence, light. We are water. Hence, water, light. The optimal molecular structure of a medium of transmission of light is hexagonal. And we see that in nature. The structure is seen in electrical wiring, carbon structures, DNA. The ancient traditions bear witness to the significance with their icons and their art. The water in all living cells is also structured, and it is constantly using motion to maintain its spark. This is why we see the vortex motion of water, which is in nature. And we see that in just about every form that we look at, from tornadoes, eddies, whirlpools, and galaxies. So my broader intention was actually for us to look at the macroscopic, the microscopic, the mesoscopic space, so that ultimately we are here to make our own decisions. I'm providing a solution from the way I see it. And it is working. And this has been my 30 years of deep dive. And it's continuing. And to me and my partner, Srinivasan, is to create a tier 2 and a tier 3 where we educate children, where we educate graduates. So we have a team of PhDs who have just graduated, who are interning with us now, to understand the depth of what we have disassociated ourselves from in our understanding and the depth of understanding of water. So these are just illustrations from looking at pictures that we've seen earlier, from nature's aspects all the way to us. So water, the universal solvent and lifeblood of a planet, plays a dual role in both Earth's vast ecosystem and the human body. The remarkable parallel between Earth and humans lies not only in their shared electromagnetic resonance, which is a very key factor because we are fundamentally frequency and vibration. Our cells emit a pulse. Our cells emit a vibration. Today, we have the ability to measure it. and they range in certain frequency bandwidths. The human ear can pick up harmonics from 20 hertz to about 20,000 hertz. So we are a symphony in every breath, inhalation, exhalation of life. In the context of the Earth's electromagnetic dance, water acts as a conduit. So, similarly, within the human body, water serves as a primary medium for electrical conductivity. Just think on that for a moment. We are a streaming electromagnetic field continuously, and this is not an isolation. It is not an anomaly. It is. And we have designed instruments today in nonlinear mathematics, thanks to Professor Mandelbrot, who was the doyen of mathematics at IBM at the Watson Lab back in the late 70s, who stumbled upon the Mandelbrot set that led today the way we communicate, the way we send information through space in an instant. So these algorithms is what we have developed on over the last 30 years and designed instruments where we can study non-linearity. Dear Sanjay has one of our devices that he has been now using for years. This is already in the presentation, but I'll read this. In the human body, water functions as a transport system through the circulatory system, ensuring the delivery of nutrients, hormones, and oxygen to the cells while removing waste products. This dynamic flow within the vascular network is essential for maintaining homeostasis, providing nourishment to cells, and facilitating the intricate balance of physiological processes. Water is the very foundation and the matrix of life, isn't it? So this is to sort of bring it to as above, so below, the macro, micro, and in an atomic space. So an organism's circulatory system, the Earth is a living organism. It breathes. She breathes in and out. And we know that too because we've done measurements like this over the years. And so according to Schauberger, water is the Earth's blood and essence of the first substance, whose boundaries and banks are the capillaries that guide it and which circulates. And we are all familiar with these rhythms of life, and we've also known that how we have also interfered with nature's rhythms, and hence we have created distortions. And of course, we are not separate from there, and hence we also see the human affected by them. So his view on water is similar to ancient perceptions, inasmuch as water serves as the primordial substance of the universe and the fundamental component of an organism's circulatory system and the global hydrological cycle. Well, these are very self-explanatory and self-evident. So what is common to all organisms? There's one clear word, it's organized water. And this brings me to why I'm here back in the land of my birth, after having designed, developed instruments and devices over the last almost 20 years, and having many of them across farms, across sectors of industry. And what we have brought together now in Bangalore with my partner, Srinivasan, who we met about 15 years ago while he was the chairman of the Indo-American Chamber. He was fascinated by my deep dive and research because I'm looking at the non-linear behavior of water. While we also look at physical parameters on one side, to me what is more important is the essential importance is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, predominantly one key word, and that's entropy. Entropy in living systems. Entropy in living system governs the entire title of our days of getting together ageless living, right? It's all having to do with entropy. Entropy is life. We are either going to have entropy at a minimal or entropy at a high level. Ultimately, everything converges to that one fundamental premise. So, Dr. Damadian, who invented the MRI, and this was a paper that was published in the Tumor Detection by NMR in the new series issue, March of 1971, is suggested that water is more ordered in normal cells than in cancer cells. So we can see the frequency patterns, and what we are looking at that chart is the nature and the flow of electrons in disorganized water, where when you get organized channels of electrons flowing, they cohere and bring and draw lower vibration systems towards it. And these are, again, fundamental laws of nature. So in cancer, we see there is chaotic information, while nature is still seeking to create self-organizing principles. So that brings us to my purpose of being back in the land of my birth, is to bring forth designed devices where we have one of the very sensitive designers of Southeast Asia. His name is Michael Foley. He designed the Commonwealth torch. And so he's our designer. And I said to him when we first met about 5-6 years ago, I said, to me, Michael, passing water and drinking water is like passing it through a chalice. Because what we are drinking is, water to me is sacred. Life is sacred in every breath. Inhalation, the space between the exhalation and the space, and so is each and every one of us. So if we value ourselves, we will value each other naturally, because we see the divinity in each one. So this, I think, we've just covered. So to me, it is, so folks in Bangalore from the chamber, meeting with many CEOs of, same, in Srini's ilk, they said, so Krishna, what's your gig? So I said, very simple. I said, of all the designs that have come through over the years, this one is like what Elon Musk did to the auto industry and what Steve Jobs did to the communications industry is what this has occurred in here. So because I've entirely revamped it, and I've brought in deep insights from one of the beings I hold very, very dearly. His name is Richard Feynman, who was awarded a Nobel in 1965 for his work in quantum electrodynamics. So these principles are underlying into our designs, and hence we see the applications across, not only here in Bharat, but across the world. And we are growing. We are a 3-year young company. So these are ongoing. So I just picked out a sort of baseline benchmark of all you do is when you revive and potentialize the energy of water, and you minimize the entropy of water, and hence energy is up, guess what occurs? Soils receive it. The soil organic carbon starts to revive in one crop cycle. Hydration gets deeper into the soil. Hence, you've got the root mass going deeper, so you use less water. So to me, I also look at the sustainable aspects of what we bring forth in life. And more important is the rhizospheres of the soil, because that's the bouquet of the earth that begins to flourish again. Outside of crops, where farmers are not only having anywhere from 20% to as up as 150% in yield, but to me, what is also important, like the turmeric, is there was almost a 50% increase in curcumin. And these are very important factors, especially because curcumin is understood worldwide, and we all take it. So similarly with blood cells, we have a lab in Tennessee who's been doing this work, and initially they thought water changes this in the blood. Well, I said, give me the data. Here's the protocols, do this, and I'd like to look at the data. Then this aspect over here is the device that dear Sanjay has in his booth, where we see endocrine system is one of course, that's the control system of our entire being, where all the parameters are up in the green area. So what is our global initiative to nurture our planet's lifeline? We stand before you with a vision initiative, one that harmoniously melds ancient wisdom and cutting-edge technology. This endeavor offers a transformative solution to one of humanity's most pressing challenges, the revitalization of our planet's vital waters. Drawing profound inspiration from the revered waters of ancient India, we proudly introduce the Jiva water as a groundbreaking initiative. So we hold a steadfast commitment to enhancing water for all living systems, from humans to farms. A dedication to safeguarding our planet's life-giving waters is unwavering and rooted in deep respect for science and natural wisdom. So we stand as a beacon of hope to me, life, to provide the life force for the restoration of ecosystems, offering a promise of renewed vitality and prosperity of our planet, which is what we see that is already occurring. And we have a full-fledged manufacturing operation, and we also have our connects, both in Bharat and international, and we would be more than welcome to have you participate with us or investigate further. And with that, namaste to all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.